my channel. This is Tita Lavinia of Titas of Pageantry, and for this episode, I will be bringing you the ladies to watch out for at the 73rd edition of Miss Universe happening this November. So please make sure you stick around. Please subscribe to the channel as well as hit that bell notification button for your weekly pageant picks. Hey guys, I hope that you're doing well. Oh my gosh, I am so back. I've been MIA. Like crazy MIA. I went back to my videos list. The actual episode that I shot for you, that I published, was like more than 5 months ago. The other videos were like BTS or like a compilation of like some of the events. But the actual video that had me sitting down, filming and editing, that was more than 5 months ago. So what happened? I can give you a few reasons, like me getting more involved with training and writing and doing, like side jobs with pageantry. Me also getting more projects. That's just a little off tangent from pageantry. And to be very honest with you, if you've been feeling the pageant fatigue for quite some time, it's even more pronounced with me. Like I made the conscious decision not to really cover everything because I was really overwhelmed with so many pageants to cover that I just wanted to keep quiet for the whole year and maybe, pick my battles. I've kept our Sunday live sesh going. At least, that was a way for me to continue connecting with you guys in terms of conversations in pageantry. I didn't want to lose that altogether. But I was really tired with all of the analysis and, the getting to know you. I wasn't really that invested with the other pageants. So it was really hard for me to also balance my time. And apart from this, there's another technical reason for that. I mean, I've been swamped with a lot of expenses also because I brought my mother back to the Philippines from Japan. I'm sure you know this story altogether. And in terms of equipment, I'm just not so happy with what I have right now. My phone is due to be changed, but that, just kept on getting pushed back and pushed back because of the expenses. I do need to have like this phone changed because it's not performing at its best. I mean, it's a pretty old phone, and yeah, it has been wet for like so many times because I travel by motorcycle a lot. So I just don't feel like it can carry as much load as it did before. So, these are all of the reasons that have compounded. That's why I haven't been producing a lot of these content for you. But that's definitely going to change, at least for now, because I don't want you to go into Miss Universe. Say hello to Mochi. That's my new kitten. Anyway, I didn't want you to go into Miss Universe without getting to know some of the girls to really watch out for. Now, this edition of Miss Universe will, of course, take place in Mexico. I know a lot of us are excited because we just really feel the Mexican connection. We've always felt that we have been the Asian Latinos for like the longest time. We've always felt that we never really belonged, but now it seems that we're going to be at home in Mexico, and we really hope that Chelsea ends up feeling the competition same. Will take place on November 16th, which means that will be November 17th in the Philippines. So you and we're going to see more of each other starting November 3rd. So please mark your calendars. I will continue our Tita Lavinia channel Panata for Miss Universe from November 3rd up until November 17th. So yes, I will be with you guys all the way. So just for this, let's discuss the ladies to watch out for because they are expecting 130 participants this year. I don't know if that's going to be feasible. I don't even know if that's going to give individual spotlight to these girls. But you know what? Let's go ahead and dive into this. So initially, I had more in my list, but I narrowed it down for you because we can. And yeah, I have 17 girls for you to watch out for, so mark your notebooks and go ahead and check them out on social media. First on my list, my number 17, is Miss Denmark. Now, This edition, let me tell you, I feel that we're going to really see a lot of the Latinas, maybe a little bit from Asia, but I just feel that with the small pool of girls who are really strong from Europe, I think Miss Denmark and another strong European is really going to hold that flag. So Miss Denmark, her name is Victoria Thielving. She is only 21 years old and she stands 5 feet 8 inches. Now she is pursuing a degree in marketing and economics. She looks like an absolute doll. She has super striking Nordic features, and I also feel like these Nordic features are more prominent or more polished only because she really has employed the Thai styling team to help her out. Like if you see the videos, even the photo that she submitted for the headshot, I feel like the look is just a little too severe. But if you go ahead and check out her newer materials, the newer materials with the intervention of the Thai styling team, then you will really see that she's definitely got something. She has that Victoria's Secret vibe going on, and I think a lot of us have been craving for a really strong Nordic character or a really strong Nordic candidate because we haven't seen really strong ladies from this region for quite some time, and we all know that they were the OG from back in the day. Now, going back to Victoria, she is a dancer, she is a singer, and the very reason why she is quite familiar to us is because she represented Denmark at MGI in 2022 and she ended up at top 20. So, if they are going to get top 30 girls this year, I have no doubt that she might just make it. Number 16 for me is a favorite of mine very early this year. I mean, not a lot of people get to talk about her, but I hope that people will take a second look. I am talking about Miss Panama. Her name is Italy Mora. I have been waiting for Miss Italy Mora to just, really show what she's got, only because there's really very little to dig because this girl is only 19 years old. She stands 5'10". She is currently a model. But the reason why we don't know a lot about her is because she just graduated from high school. So if you go ahead and do your research, maybe check on her, you would also get to see that there's really very little written about her. But if you go ahead and check out her photos, all of her editorials, you will see that there is something in there. I'm just really happy that she chopped off her hair because I saw some footage of her and I saw some photos of her with, the full beauty queen hair. I just think that she's more striking this time with shorter hair. Number 15 for me is probably someone you haven't encountered because not a lot of people talk about her. I am talking about Miss Spain. She is Michelle Jimenez. Now, I find her very, very interesting facially. First of all, I find that she is just so racially ambiguous. Like she could pass off as a Latina. She could also pass off as someone, from India or maybe from that region. Miss Spain is only 21 years old, and the reason why she has that very, racially ambiguous face is because her father was from Dominican Republic and then her mother is Ecuadorian. Now, what's interesting about Miss Spain, apart from that beautiful face and that, absolutely amazing bone structure, is that she has a compelling story. Now, Michelle Jimenez was part of the foster home system for a long time, and apparently she was the one who initiated this because her parents, particularly her mother, was not fit to raise her as a child. So she used all of her experience in the foster system to really put forth her intentions to finishing her studies in business and marketing. And, she seems like a really strong speaker because of, what she went through. And if we're just going to base this on looks, I am going to just show you a clip because I kid you not, she looks like a young Sophia Loren. And on top of this, if she does really well, and I hope that she does really well only because I've been super vocal about Spain, and this is because I have like this strong sentimental attachment to the ladies from Spain. I've been wanting a Spanish winner for quite some time because the last time they won Miss Universe was in 1974 with the beautiful Amparo Munoz. My 14th spot for this year goes to Miss Egypt. Now, I am going to be quite biased about this only because Miss Egypt is one of my trainees, but hear me out. There's definitely something out there that is worth mentioning. Miss Egypt's name is Logina Sala. She is 34 years old. She is one of the mothers competing at Miss Universe this year. She is a single mother. She has a daughter. She is also a trained makeup artist. And back home in Egypt, she is an influencer and a skin positivity advocate. And of course, this is obvious because Lugina has one of the most striking faces and the most striking, personalities at Miss Universe this year, precisely because it's so evident in her face. She has vitiligo. But what I do like about her is that she's really feisty and she understands like this whole business. And, sometimes she would ask me, Tita, am I really a participant at this, or do I have a chance at, making it? And I always tell her honestly that in terms of like movements, in terms of like projection, maybe we cannot bank on her because she's just starting her training right now. But she has other things going on for her, like a really strong backstory. She's really very confident. She knows a lot of things because of her experience. So the wisdom factor is there, and she has a lot of things to say because she is an Arab woman, and there are so many things that are quite unusual about being an Arab woman, of course, in this modern time. So she is something to watch. She's something and someone to watch out for, only because she has such a strong personality. I think she's worth listening to. My 13th spot is another bias of mine. I am, of course, talking about Miss Pakistan's Noor Sarmina. She is 29 years old, very tall too at 5'10". She is a venture capitalist, and she turned into an actor because, she's very artistic and she wants to explore a lot of these things. What's interesting about her is also her background. She has amazing communication skills. She's absolutely worldly. What I like about her is that she seems to really adjust to her environment because of her background. Both of her parents are diplomats, and Noor was able to live in 9 countries, live and go to school there. So the way she adjusts to people, the way she adjusts to cultures, the way she adjusts to just like the different environment, I think that it's more seamless with Noor. I also think that her communication skills is really very strong. It's just that she has to be more engaging because she has a tendency to look more serious. So if she wants to be the best representation of Pakistan, I think she's doing a really good job. And I think that although there's pressure on her part because the first representative of Pakistan, Erica Robin, did so well. So I'm hoping that they consider her because she's really very smart. My 12th spot is someone who I also find very interesting, knowing, of course, that she is representing Cambodia. She is, of course, Devin Prasad. Now, what's interesting about her is that she is, again, one of the mothers competing at this year's edition. She is 33 years old, and apart from being the first mother from Cambodia, she's also the first mother from Southeast Asia, really, to compete. What I do like about her is that, she's someone with confidence that's so pronounced. Like you could see it with the way she carries herself, with her socials, with the activities that she's involved in. Like she does a lot of philanthropic work. So this is someone who's like confident with, I don't know, maybe her finances, also confident with the people around her, and maybe also confident with the organizations that she's working with. And she seems to have like a lot of connections also, and she seems to be well supported by the Cambodians. So I'm really excited what she can bring to the table. So again, one of the reasons why she has this, level of confidence and why she's this familiar to us was because she was part of the top 5 of the competition called Universal Woman, in which our very own Maria Gigante won in 2024. So yeah, good for her. My 11th spot goes to Miss Nigeria. She is Chidima Adetshina. And honestly, she had a really rough start this pageant season. She was one of the heavy favorites for Miss South Africa, but unfortunately, she had to bow out of the competition because there were talks, you people, there were talks about her mother's citizenship. Now, I did a bit of research. So apparently, she was already going to school in South Africa. She already had a life in South Africa. Her father originally was from Nigeria. Her mother was not from South Africa, but apparently obtained a South African citizenship illegally. So while she was competing at Miss South Africa, they did like some background work, and then they found out about the mother, and that it became a controversial thing, very much like how Venus Ra was scrutinized in the Philippines when she joined Binibining Pilipinas. The situation was no different. So the ending was that she bowed out of the competition, pulled herself out of the competition, and then rejoined the nationals, this time in Nigeria. And because she was already a household name in pageantry, at least in that region, she easily won that. So going back to Chidima, the backstory is, of course, something that they can use at Miss Universe, but more than anything else, that face card really holds. And there is a reason why a lot of people rallied for her, and there's really a reason why she was a heavy favorite at Miss South Africa. There's definitely something in that beautiful Nigerian face. Number 10 for me is, of course, another bias of ours. She is, of course, from United Kingdom, and our very own Christina Chong. I'm saying our very own because I think that she is still very much connected to us. Christina is 31 years old, and of course, for those of us who are familiar, she is Filipino-Scottish. She joined Miss Universe 2024 and ended up with a top 20 finish. So she was also one of the ladies that I interviewed for my channel not too long ago. So I really feel strongly for Christina because I know that all of her experience joining for, I don't know, maybe as long as a decade now, everything just came together, and now she's like super duper polished. She took in everything from her life as an actress here in the Philippines to everything that she has learned globally, because we're talking about someone who has lived in different parts of the world. So she's very global. She is a pharmacology graduate, but then she switched to acting, and then she got herself involved in luxury property auctions. So this is a person who understands marketing, who seamlessly can move from one like class to another. Like, she's that easy to talk to. So I think she's very sophisticated. I also think that with her sophistication, it's just a different flavor because she is very warm and easy to talk to. And of course, with, beautiful styling, again, that face absolutely holds. My ninth spot is another heavy favorite, not just for her country, but for the Filipinos as well. I will be giving this to the beautiful Victoria Velasquez Vincent, of course, of New Zealand, who I feel has really found her place. I think we discussed this some time ago, that as much as we wanted her to represent the Philippines, I think that her New Zealand representation just feels so right. Now, Victoria is 29 years old. As we all know, she is a model. As we all know, she is also a practicing architect. She's statuesque at 5'9", and what's very interesting about her was that the experience and what she learned about the Philippines is just something that makes her even more whole, because right now, as for her advocacy, as for what she is bringing to the table at Miss Universe, I think that this is something that's timely and relevant, not just to my country, the Philippines, but also to New Zealand. I'm talking about VVV advocating for safe and sustainable homes, because of course she understands how it is, the environment of course affects New Zealand, and how it is when it affects the Philippines as well. So yeah, good for VVV. I absolutely, by the way, loved her headshot. I thought that she looked really youthful in her headshot. I think that this is something that a lot of people have commented, but whatever it is, if she changed her styling theme or if she changed her direction, I just think that it's doing wonders for her, because if she continues on with this styling, I think she's going to be on the right track. My eighth spot goes to our very, very own Chelsea Manalo from the Philippines. Now, hear me out. She is in the middle, but don't get offended or don't get like super cray cray about this, because what's beautiful about Chelsea is that she is on stealth mode. Maybe you will not be 100% convinced with her, but just give her some time, give her some timing, and she will definitely go for the kill. And I'm definitely waiting for this because they're not overdoing it. And what we learned from CJ is that if we back off a little bit, maybe it'll give them more drive to perform. Maybe it will also give them, more space because we're not breathing down their back. So going back to Chelsea, she is 25 years old. I just can't give you an exact height because, some references say she's 5'6", 5'6". Some say she's 5'7", some say she's 5'8". For me, it doesn't really matter because if they have like this whole styling like plan for her that's going to elongate her, that's really going to make her more powerful. I don't care whether she's 5'5" or 5'10". But of course, we want someone like super duper tall. We can't get everything, but that's fine. Going back, Chelsea is also quite solid. She's a graduate of tourism management, and she is the first Filipino African American to represent the Philippines. So just for the representation alone, I think that this is something quite interesting to talk about, especially when we have Chelsea there in Mexico. Chelsea is an advocate for indigenous people. She participated in a campaign for youth education, accessibility, and empowerment. I'm just not so sure if this is as pronounced with Chelsea, but this is, of course, part of her narrative. Now, she is a sought-after model. Maybe you have forgotten or maybe you haven't really paid a lot of attention, but yeah, she's done everything from Sunny's Face to Bench Beauty to Mark Baumgartner. I mean, even before this, she's been pretty lucrative as a model. And what I do like about her is that even if she has like that image of being timid, being on the more delicate side, I also feel like she's level-headed as well. But what I like about her is that she comes alive in photos. If you fix her up or maybe change her hair and makeup, like she really is a model. She really gets to that vibe of whatever that photo shoot is themed. So just for this, I am waiting for Chelsea to really deliver because she seems to do really well with the dark horse narrative. So yeah, for her to be in the middle, that should be something. My seventh spot goes to Miss Thailand. Her name is, of course, Opal Suchata. Opal is only 20 years old, and there is a lot of hope with Opal because she is pure Thai, and on top of this, they have been doing so well for quite some time. I mean, look at what happened in 2023. They reached first runner-up. So it's really just a matter of time before they snag another crown. I'm waiting for it. Believe me, I've been waiting for it since 1988. I mean, you know how vocal I am when it comes to countries like Peru or Brazil or Thailand or those Scandinavian countries, like the OGs of Miss Universe. I've been waiting for a comeback. But going back to Opal, again, I think one of the things that are really going on for her is also her backstory, because this isn't something that was shopped around or this wasn't something that was invented. When Opal was 16 years old, she had to undergo breast surgery to remove a lump. So it's just natural for her to advocate for breast cancer awareness. And I think that this is something solid because this is definitely something that she experienced. So what I like about Opal is not really about Opal. What I like about Opal is the team handling Opal. I feel that with the team and the organization working together, they're showing Opal that even if they started doing well at Miss Universe in 2015, whoever they crown as MUT, I feel like they give them equal importance. And even if Antonia did so well last year and it was just so high profile with all of the coverage centered on Antonia, I just think that they're doing the same thing with Opal. Like, they have not diminished their support. They have not diminished their creativity for Opal. So just for this, kudos to Opal, kudos to the team, and also kudos to the organization. My sixth spot goes to Miss Zimbabwe. Her name is Sakili Dube. She is 27 years old. And again, I am so sorry if I'm butchering her name. I'm trying my best. Sakili is a fashion design and styling student, so I suppose that's the reason why she has, elan, why she's so chic. Um, Miss Zimbabwe has a foundation that she put up, and this is to promote equal education for vulnerable children in Zimbabwe. So she definitely understands like how it is because she apparently experienced this, and so much work has to be done with Zimbabwe. I think that she's doing quite a good job with it. Now, the reason again why she is someone that we know, why she is someone that we get to talk about, is because she joined Miss Supranational, and she had a really good finish at Miss Supranational. So yeah, I cannot wait to see what she has to offer. So now let's go into the fifth place. I will be giving this to Miss Chile. Her name is Emilia Dides or Dides. She is 25 years old. She is a singer, and she was a winner of a reality show, which was the gateway for her to become a pop sensation in Chile. So apparently that's the reason why she's so confident on screen. I did see a clip of her at a Miss Universe platform. I think she was just super spunky, so you kind of know that this is someone who's comfortable in front of the camera, who's also comfortable performing, because she does give off that vibe. So I feel like she's really spunky, but she does have that very girl next door feels to her, which might just work. So if you go ahead and check her out, she has that same vibe, such as Selena Gomez, or Miss Dominican Republic from 2015, Clarissa Molina. Like, if you combine both these women, you might come up with an Emilia from Chile. I mean, she does have that vibe. So I think that she is in a good position. I mean, also knowing her fan base, knowing what she can bring to the table, and the backstory as well. I mean, Chile is no stranger to Miss Universe. In fact, they won the last title for Chile in 1987. This was, of course, from Cecilia Boloco. Fourth spot is someone who might just actually win the title this year. I don't know. I put her in my fourth spot, but honestly, she could go all the way. I mean, whatever my ranking is, it's not the ranking really, but I still put her here. She might just win. I'm hoping she wins. I'm talking about Miss Finland. Her name is Matilda Tavori. Again, I butchered that. I'm sure I butchered that. Matilda is only 24 years old. I think that's the perfect age for Miss Universe. She is super statuesque at 5'11". She is an economics and she has a master in economics, and she is also an entrepreneur. She is a dancer. I mean, this is exactly the reason why she moves the way she moves. And she is also a mental health advocate. Now, let's go back to the way she moves, because one of the reasons why she is a heavy favorite in this competition is because she did not have to convince the Latinos. She did not have to convince us. She just slayed the runway. She continues this. I mean, she does have that balance of a dancer, and she has that elegance. She has the strides, and she also has the command when she walks. And it's been a while since we saw someone from that region really wow us. So I'm really hoping she does super well. And you know what, she's doing her homework. She's studying Spanish. I also heard and saw that she also gave a spotlight to what happened in the Philippines, to those who were affected by by the recent typhoon. So she's someone who seems pretty well rounded. I don't know, you have to be afraid, because she's super fresh. And yeah, I'm absolutely rooting for Miss Finland this year. My third spot goes to Miss Venezuela. Her name is Ileana Pedroza. She is 28 years old. She is the first mother to represent Venezuela at Miss Universe. What's interesting about her is that she looks the part, but you know what? She's actually a teacher. She is a single mother of a 12-year-old girl. So the narrative has, very similar to that of Miss Egypt. So they just have to be really convincing at this competition. She was a teenage mother when she got pregnant at 16, so it only makes sense for her to support initiatives to prevent adolescent pregnancies. Now, she has such a strong sash, strong team. Even her styling is on point. But one of the things that she will be bringing to the table is, of course, her physique. Super insane. Definitely worth checking out. Number 2 for me, of course, is another familiar lady to everyone. She is from Dominican Republic. Of course, I'm talking about Celini Santos Frias. Now, she is 24 years old, absolutely statuesque at 5'11". She joined Miss Intercontinental in 2019, and then she also joined Miss International in 2022, finishing 4th runner-up. We are talking about a pageant vet here. On top of that beautiful face and that beautiful physique and, all of that beautiful movements that spell pageant queen, she is also taking applause. And it also doesn't hurt that, she's known to us. She has, a solid fan base. I mean, that batch of Miss International, I think that's a super, super solid batch. And if I had it my way, apart from Miss Finland, of course, if I had it my way and, everything fell into place, my number 1 spot is still with Miss Peru, Tatiana Calmel. Tati, close, is 30 years old. She is a model, she is an actress, and she is also an activist. And she was also one of the successful ladies from Miss International because she ended up 2nd runner-up at Miss International in 2022. So she will definitely meet her amiga from Miss Dominican Republic at this year's Miss Universe. Now, I'm really pushing for Miss Peru because number 1, she has that beautiful baby face, and I think that this is definitely a face that's, going to sell. I mean, this is a face that no one's going to argue about. Absolutely beautiful physique as well. I mean, it also helps that she is pretty established in pageantry. And on top of this, the Peruvians have been doing so well in pageantry. They aren't very consistent, but if you trace their participation from 2015, they would always go up and down like the semifinals, but they would always be the ones to watch out for, probably because they're still part of the powerful P group. Part of powerful P group. Parang ano yun tongue twister. But anyway, I am really rooting for Miss Peru because every year I root for Miss Peru the same way I root for Miss Thailand, the same way I root for Miss Spain. And yes, only because they've been doing so well. And the last Miss Universe that they had was in 1957 with Miss Gladys Zender. It's about time, you guys. Now, there are other ladies that I'm also checking out that I have not mentioned. I'm really hoping to get to see and to get more convinced with Miss Brazil. And I'm also willing to also check out Miss Somalia. So these are the 2 that I did not really include in my list. But of course, I am hoping to get to talk more about them because we will be talking about these ladies, again, from November 3rd up until the finals on the 17th Philippine time. So I hope that your favorites were part of my list, and I hope that you can continue checking out these girls because, they might be the ones that we would continue talking about for that whole Miss Universe panata. And who knows, the next winner of Miss Universe might just be part of this list. So if I missed someone, please do not worry. I'm sure we will get the chance to talk about them in the next coming days. But for now, go ahead and check these ladies out. And thank you so much for staying with me. I haven't had an episode in quite some time, and I know this is quite long, but we don't have live this Sunday, so I might as well. Thank you so much, guys, and goodbye.